Good morning everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about the Yulanzi BG-2 power grip that can be used for the GoPro, which I'm currently looking at right now. It can be used for anything, but today we're going to be reviewing it with the use of the GoPro. Stay tuned and enjoy. So the Yulanzi BG-2 power grip is made specifically to give a longer lasting power level to any device that you have, which in my case I'm going to be using it for a GoPro Hero 8, but it has inputs for USB-A and USB-C so that you can connect any power device to it. Also, what makes this interesting is that it has a 1/4 inch threaded screw on the top so that you can put any kind of camera mount on there that fits that size, as well as a small adapter if you want to put a tripod mount on the bottom. Let me show you what that looks like and see how it's all set up with the GoPro Hero 8. So this is what it looks like when you set up the BG-2 with the GoPro with the media mod and plugged into the USB-A port, plugging into the back of the GoPro Hero 8. On here I've added a selfie stick that can be extended like this, as well as a tripod mount on the bottom so that I can use it however I like while I'm walking around. Now what's interesting about this device is that it gives you an extra 8 hours of runtime when you're out on a warm or average temperature day. You can also use it in colder weather despite the warnings that come with the user manual on the inside. It tells you that its normal operating temperature should be between 0 Celsius and 45 degrees Celsius. And I can tell you that having tested it in -12 to -4 temperatures outside, I got 5.5 hours of runtime with my GoPro Hero 8 running at 4K 24p. So that shows you just how much extra time you can get. So what can the Yulanzi BG-2 be used for? Well, as you can see that I'm using it on right now, it's on my GoPro Hero 8, and it works very well because it has a USB-A plug on the grip itself, which plugs, in this case, I have it plugged into my media mod. So I have enough power to stay out here for probably 6 to 8 hours, depending on the temperature. I've tested it out both in very cold weather at -14, where I was able to get 5.5 hours of battery life running at 4K. And then inside where it was warmer, I was able to get 8 hours of runtime with the battery grip. So the one thing that I like the most about this battery grip is that it allows you to put it on a tripod or on your any kind of selfie stick or anything like that while you're walking around, or when you have it set up like a tripod. So in this case, what you're hearing is my GoPro Hero 8 set up on a little mini stand, and it allows me to walk around with the freedom of being able to still talk and hear my voice. Let's give it a few other tries in other spots and see how it sounds. I really like having this device. If I had to complain about one thing though, what I don't like about it is that it has no power level indicator on it. So you don't know how much power you have left whenever you're using it. It'll last up to 8 hours in warm weather, but if you haven't charged it in a long time, you have no idea if you need to charge it again or not. The good thing though is that you can use it to charge any device. It can be your phone, another small camera, even a larger camera, anything that has a power cord to it that you can plug in to USB-A on the BG-2 itself. Very useful thing to have. It's like any other external battery except that it fits in with everything. In terms of battery size, the battery that comes with your GoPro, it's a 1220 milliamp hour battery. So it's not a lot of power, and it gives you about an hour's worth of use at 4K. The battery grip here that I'm using right now is a 6800 milliamp hour battery, which technically should give you at least 5.5 hours of extra power, but it seems to turn out quite a bit longer, up to 8 hours in my tests in regular temperatures, and still 5.5 hours when it's -14 to about -5 where I tested it outside. So who exactly is this battery grip for? Although it's people who definitely aren't going to like it are the ones who want to keep everything as tiny and compact as possible so that they can hook up their GoPro to something that's tiny and that could get knocked around. This thing isn't waterproof at all. I wouldn't even have it in a light rain since all of the ports are wide open. But if you're out and about, you like to record a lot of stuff where the GoPro itself is close to you and can mount to something on you, then this is quite the device for you, especially if you like to use a selfie stick. That's probably where it's the most useful. So the BG-2 grip isn't the only battery accessory that you can get for the GoPro or other devices. Specifically for the GoPro, there are some other devices that can act like a case that have an extra battery built right into it. When you have one of those, they're very convenient. They're probably lighter, maybe not give as much power, but also they're very model specific. So for example, the one that worked with the GoPro 7 won't work with the GoPro 8. That's not a great option in my mind. And you can also only use it for the GoPro and not other action cameras or devices like phones and that sort of thing. You could also put together your own device, which would involve having an external battery taped to something that you have, or even in your pocket where you run a wire. But those devices, while they can last a lot longer and they're useful for things like very long time lapses, they're very inconvenient and can be heavy, and they're not very elegant as much as they have a lot of other good options for them. For me, one of the biggest reasons to have this battery is because of the fact that the Media Mod case is so inconvenient for being able to take out an SD card or the battery. I can demonstrate here for a second. When I take off this, which is a normal thing to have to do, first thing you notice when you take this off and you pop this open so that you can slide the GoPro out, you can't just slide it out with this on, because these mounts protrude from the bottom and don't allow you to slide the GoPro out of here without flipping everything down and taking everything off here in the first place. So now I've taken it out. Notice I have an empty case now. If I want to use this on here and I want to use the battery, I'm stuck with plugging it into this port here with an open side battery. The nice thing is that Yulanzi themselves have produced something that I quite like. I have right here, it's called the Yulanzi G8-7. That's this little door here. If you can see that nice and clear. It's, sorry, there's a squirrel outside. This will allow you to put the battery or this door on here, shut this, and then from the side, as you can see here, you have the door and the port, but it protects the battery, which allows you to put this back on here, onto the grip. Have everything secured. Put the battery back on and plug in like so. Of course, you want to put this somewhere where it's a little less in your face. Now, one thing I have read online from a few people, or maybe once actually, is I have heard of someone having the problem where when they plugged in a battery grip or any external battery and plugged this in with this door, that they had overheating problems to the point where they melted some of the contacts. Now, the only reason, or the only way that's going to happen is if you had a battery inside the GoPro and then you plugged in an external battery, and the two of them together won't allow enough heat to dissipate and could cause some melting or some shorts. So that's not something that anyone would recommend that you do. Obviously, using the battery grip with the Media Mod isn't your only option. You can see how it is here, where you can put on a microphone or a wireless microphone receiver here. That's just one option that you have for this. This is the other way to mount the battery grip, the BG-2 with the GoPro. It's just a little more simple without the Media Mod. You have everything nice and neat on here. I've also used a quick release plate on here so that if I want to take this off, I can slide it off like so. Nice and easy. Very easy to put onto a chest mount or a helmet mount after that. And then these little feet here, they came with something else that I bought. I don't even remember where I got it, but they can be purchased separately quite inexpensively as well. Finally, to go over the pros and cons of the Yulanzi BG-2, I've shown that you can use this for pretty much any kind of device. So it has the ability to charge anything, including your phone, any kind of camera, that sort of thing. Gives you an extra runtime on your camera, anywhere from 500 to 800% of extra filming time. It's small, it's easy to mount other items to, as I have shown here with these different mounts that you can use. And it's all around a very good product considering the price. Now, as I mentioned before, the one thing that I really don't enjoy about this product, well, actually now that I look, there's another one. I would like to have some kind of cover on here to stop dust from going into the USB-A port. But also the bigger deal for me is that there's no power level meter on here to show me how much power is left. Even a 4-bar LED thing would be very handy to show that when I'm down to at least 25% that I know that I should charge it again. In reality, I probably wouldn't have to charge this thing more than every few weeks, but it's good to know when it needs to be charged so that you don't burn out the battery by overcharging it all the time. That does it for this video. Please hit the like button or the subscribe button if you found this useful in any way. Thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Talk to you soon.